The circus wasn't just a place for clowns and acrobats. For over a century, it was home to some of the most extraordinary people on Earth. Men and women whose bodies and talents seemed to defy nature itself. But behind the spotlight were stories of triumph, tragedy, and survival. Today, we're diving into 20 real circus performers whose lives were stranger than fiction. Get ready, because the deeper we go, the wilder it gets. Number 20, Annie Jones, the Bearded Lady. Annie Jones was born in 1865 with a full beard, caused by a condition called hirsutism. By age 1, she was already touring with P.T. Barnum, dazzling audiences as the Bearded Lady. But Annie wasn't just a sideshow act. She used her fame to challenge public cruelty toward performers with differences. And if you think a little facial hair was unusual, wait until you meet the man who was almost all bone. Number 19, Isaac W. Sprague, the Living Skeleton. Isaac Sprague's body began to mysteriously waste away in his teens, leaving him weighing just 43 pounds as an adult. Billed as the Living Skeleton, he became a major draw on the sideshow circuit. Despite his frailty, Isaac lived well into his 40s and even married. Audiences came for the shock but left asking, how could anyone survive in such a fragile state? And next, we meet a man whose extra leg turned him into a superstar. Number 18, Frank Lentini, the three-legged man. Frank Lentini was born with 3 fully developed legs and a partial 4th foot, thanks to a parasitic twin. Instead of hiding, Frank leaned into his uniqueness, becoming a legendary performer. He played soccer on stage, joked about his condition, and toured with major circuses. But behind the charm, people always wondered, was life offstage as easy as he made it look? Coming up, a man who proved that limbs aren't everything. Number 17, Prince Randian, the human caterpillar. Born in 1871 without arms or legs, Prince Randian stunned audiences by rolling, shaving, and even writing using only his mouth and torso muscles. He famously appeared in the cult film Freaks and became one of the most recognized figures of the sideshow world. But his real achievement? Showing the world that determination knows no body type. And next, we meet sisters whose lives were joined in the most literal way. Number 16, Daisy and Violet Hilton, the conjoined twins. Born in 1908, Daisy and Violet Hilton were conjoined twins, joined at the hips and buttocks. They became international vaudeville stars, sang in harmony, and even appeared in films. But fame came at a price. They were controlled by guardians until they finally won legal freedom. Their story reminds us, sometimes the hardest battle isn't on stage, but behind the curtain. Number 15, Johnny Eck, the half-boy. Born in 1911, Johnny Eck had no lower body below his ribcage, but he was anything but limited. Known as the half-boy, Johnny became a magician's assistant, movie actor, artist, and even a race car driver. Audiences were stunned by his speed and agility as he raced on his hands, sometimes faster than fully able-bodied performers. But the real question was, how did he turn what others saw as a curse into a life of adventure? Next up, meet twins whose harmony amazed the world. Number 14, Millie and Christine McCoy, the two-headed nightingale. Born into slavery in 1851, Millie and Christine McCoy were conjoined twins who became international musical stars. Known as the two-headed nightingale, they sang in perfect harmony and even spoke multiple languages. They toured Europe, met Queen Victoria, and proved that 2 voices could become one unforgettable sound. But if you thought their condition was rare, wait until you meet a man covered head to toe in fur. Number 13, Fedor Jeftichuk. Jojo, the dog-faced boy. Fedor Jeftichuk, born in Russia in 1868, had hypertrichosis, a condition that caused his entire face and body to be covered in thick hair. Dubbed Jojo the Dog-Faced Boy, he toured with P.T. Barnum and became one of the most famous performers of his time. But beneath the wild appearance was a shy, intelligent young man who just wanted to be seen as human. Coming up, a man who proved that strength has nothing to do with legs. Number 12, Eli Bowen, the legless acrobat. Born in 1844 without legs, Eli Bowen became a world-famous acrobat, contortionist, and aerialist. His upper body strength was legendary, and he performed daring stunts on parallel bars and tightropes. But Eli didn't just succeed in the ring, he married, had children, and ran a successful business. His story left audiences asking, was there anything this man couldn't do? Next up, a performer so tiny she left the biggest impression. Number 11, Lucia Zarate, the smallest woman. Lucia Zarate, born in 1864, weighed just 4 pounds as an adult and was once crowned the lightest person ever recorded. She became an international sensation, performing alongside giants and strongmen, and charming audiences with her delicate beauty and quick wit. But behind the curtains, there was always the same haunting question. How long could such a fragile body survive the spotlight? Number 10, General Tom Thumb, the dwarf performer. Discovered by P.T. Barnum at just 4 years old, Charles Stratton, better known as General Tom Thumb, was only 25 inches tall but became one of the most famous performers on Earth. He toured the world, entertained royalty, and amassed a personal fortune. But here's the kicker. Behind the fame, Tom was a savvy businessman, not just a sideshow act. Next, we meet two brothers whose connection shaped their legacy forever. Number 9, Chang and Eng Bunker, the original Siamese twins. Born in 1811 in Siam, now Thailand, Chang and Eng Bunker were conjoined twins connected at the chest. They became the world's most famous Siamese twins, touring internationally before settling in the US. Married to 2 sisters, they fathered 22 children and ran a farm together. Audiences were fascinated, but behind the stage lights was a life of love, family, and business smarts. But not every performer was so fortunate. Number 8, Mary Ann Bevan, the world's homeliest woman. Mary Ann Bevan was a nurse and mother when she developed acromegaly, a disorder that enlarged her facial bones. Facing financial hardship, she entered the circus as the world's homeliest woman to support her children. What audiences didn't always see was her fierce resilience and devotion to her family. And up next, a man whose body gave him a mythical nickname. Number 7, Wang, the human unicorn. Wang's rare condition left him with a 14-inch horn-like growth on his head, making him an instant legend across Asia and Europe. Doctors were stunned, audiences were mesmerized. Was it medical anomaly or miracle? But one thing was certain. Wang's face became one of the most unforgettable in circus history. Now brace yourself. The next story is as heartbreaking as it is inspiring. Number 6, Grace McDaniels, the mule-faced woman. Born in 1888 with a severe facial deformity. Grace McDaniels found a home in the sideshow world as the mule-faced woman. Despite public gawking, Grace was known as gentle, kind, and fiercely devoted to her son. She even won awards for her character, not just her appearance. Her life reminds us, sometimes the greatest beauty comes from within. Number 5, Schlitzie, the pinhead performer. Schlitzie, born in 1901 with microcephaly, had a small brain and skull, limited cognitive development, and stood under 4 feet tall. But on stage, Schlitzie lit up the room with his joyful, playful spirit. He became a beloved figure in Barnum and Bailey's Circus and starred in the cult film Freaks, capturing hearts worldwide. Yet fans always wondered, behind the stage lights, was Schlitzie truly as happy as he seemed? Next up, a performer whose fame ended in infamy. Number 4, Grady Stiles Jr., the Lobster Boy. Born in 1937 with ectrodactyly, which fused his fingers and toes into claw-like shapes, Grady Stiles Jr. was known as Lobster Boy. But while his stage life was full of applause, his personal life was marked by violence and tragedy. After a turbulent family life, Grady was ultimately murdered in a hit-for-hire scheme, a dark ending to one of sideshow history's most infamous stars. Coming up, a performer whose 4 legs made her a global sensation. Number 3, Myrtle Corbin, the four-legged girl. Myrtle Corbin was born in 1868 with dipygus, a rare condition that left her with 2 sets of legs. She became a major draw in the circus, captivating audiences across the U.S. But here's what stunned the public. Myrtle married, had 5 children, and led a surprisingly ordinary family life, defying every expectation. And now we meet a performer whose movement left crowds in awe. Number 2, Ella Harper, the Camel Girl. Ella Harper, born in 1870, had knees that bent backward, making it more comfortable for her to walk on all 4s. Billed as the Camel Girl, she quickly became one of the highest-paid sideshow stars of the 1880s. But after just a few years, Ella walked away from fame, choosing a quiet, private life. It leaves us wondering, what made her leave it all behind? Now, the most famous name of all. Number 1, Joseph Merrick, the Elephant Man. Joseph Merrick, born in 1862, suffered from severe deformities, likely caused by Proteus syndrome. He was relentlessly exhibited as the Elephant Man, drawing massive crowds and brutal judgment. But his story took a turn when he found refuge at London Hospital, where he was treated with compassion and respect. To this day, Merrick's life stands as a powerful symbol of humanity, resilience, and dignity.